Rob Bro. He's your sports bro at KKAM.com and the Talk 1340 app.
You guys are not doing any pass blocking. You're just stepping aside and letting them walk in.
Pop, 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 pop. That's what I want. All of you around that ball. What's wrong with y'all? Y'all play like some little girls. Y'all like y'all never played football before. These guys are nothing. You hear me? They breathe just like we do. Yes, sir. They sweat just like we do. Do you hear me? They went through 2 days. We went through 2 days in 110-degree heat. Yes, sir. I want you to hit everything to move. If the ref gets in your way, you hit him. Okay, then, let's play. But they're cheating us too. They're against us too. This is our team. This is us. Let's go right now. Let's get it off now. Let's go.
Into the show. I'm Rob Ruffin. Oh, man. We're going to have a show if it's the last thing we do today. We'll do some Big 12 power rankings. We'll do some wing power rankings. I got some flavors on deck. Super Bowl party, beverage rankings. We'll rank whatever you want to as well. It's Power Ranking Thursday. And I think finally we can move Texas Tech off the bottom of the row. If we're going to power rank the Big 12 today, I think there's a team out there, even though they've won head up against you, that Texas Tech might be better than. I am of the opinion. We'll have to see what you think. It's obviously Oklahoma. Oklahoma 2-9 in Big 12 play, 12-12, but where you've played a couple of teams close, they have been awful in Big 12 play. Now, will they beat Alabama? Okay, they did. I don't know why Jerry Seinfeld said that, but they did beat number 1 Alabama. But they have been really bad in Big 12 play over the last couple of weeks. Like, really bad. We'll get into that. Obviously, last night, Baylor beating Oklahoma, Texas Tech falling to Oklahoma State. Texas Tech 1-10 in Big 12 play. Oklahoma State 6-5. And they are on an absolute tear across the last week and a half, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, after starting poorly. Texas a front runner right now. Kansas stepping back into the championship picture. Kansas State, Baylor, Iowa State all holding court this week, though you did see Iowa State with an opportunity to tie Texas at the top of the Big 12. They could not do it. West Virginia and Iowa State, maybe the biggest discrepancy home and away. Iowa State's still pretty good on the road. West Virginia's bad on the road. But both of those teams are really good at home. Really good at home. Discussing the game last night, Texas Tech, Oklahoma State. Texas Tech losing by 3 after a shot at the buzzer and a free throw with 0.4 seconds remaining after you tied it up with about 18. That game did not feel like a 5-6 point game late. I was really impressed with how Texas Tech fought to the end. I think when you're down 2, you don't want to play for the last shot. You want to score as fast as you can because it's more important to score, because you don't want to sit there and wait and not have an opportunity at a putback. So I liked how it all played out. You box out, you go to overtime. Who knows what happens? But you didn't box out and you didn't go to overtime. Maybe if you wanted to, you could have saved a last shot and got a 3-point opportunity for the win. That is not something you opted to do, and I would have been upset if you would have clanked a three or gotten off a terrible shot at the end anyways. So I don't have any issue with the coaching at the end of that game beyond the fundamentals on this team just are not elite. They're really not even that good. And that's why you see Texas Tech at 1-10. I don't think I'm breaking any ground here. The fundamentals, the small stuff, the spacing, the passing, the crispness of the defense, it's just not there. The open shots, the dribbling into traffic. This team just does not do the little stuff well, and that's what turns a tough game into a blowout or a close game into a close loss. Over and over and over and over again. Now you are 1-10. That's a pretty good sample size for the Big 12. I don't know that you'll have another opportunity really to win a game. Oklahoma and Norman seems like the most likely opportunity for a win. And I still think you can beat anybody in this conference, which is the weirdest thing. You still have Texas and Lubbock. Kansas State this weekend in Lubbock. Stranger things have happened. But to have any kind of thought of a moral victory after last night, when you lose in such a similar fashion to what you've lost all year, it's hard to pull out anything like that. It's hard to pull out a positive. Well, at least you were close. Yeah, but you've been close all year. That doesn't cut it anymore. Well, you tied it up and you were a defensive play away from going to overtime. No, you were a missed box out away. You got to stop. You gave them the win because two guys blocked out in the lane and allowed an open slasher to get a rebound because you couldn't find all the bodies. It's just fundamentals. You can't be well coached and 1-10. You can't be talented and 1-10. You can't be good and 1-10. Now, you can be well coached and untalented. You can be talented and poorly coached, and some of those line up into a 1-10. But if you're looking at the triangle, you can't be all three. And it's hard to be two of them. And as I said, the schedule does not get any easier for Texas Tech. Everyone left, except for Oklahoma and Norman, is going to be favored against you. We'll see how Oklahoma State finishes, as they will finish in Lubbock. Elsewhere, though, Kansas State at home, Texas at home, at West Virginia. We know about that. TCU in Lubbock after a trip to Norman. At Lawrence, Oklahoma State at home. I mean, the Big 12 is murderer's row, period. But ranked, really good at home, could win, ranked on the road. And then Oklahoma State, who now has a winning record in Big 12 play and an opportunity to not only just be on the bubble, but be in the tournament with a winning record in Big 12 play. All right, let's hit the text line real quick. Super Bowl Saturday is a horrible idea. Make it a holiday and give everyone Monday off. Robert. That's not me texting that in, but I do agree. Wings discussion. Dry prepared salt and vinegar dry rub. All drums, non-flat guy. With mango habanero sauce and blue cheese on the side. I'm just a week into learning how to use my new air fryer. It's great for wings. It is absolutely great for wings. You can buy frozen chicken wings, put them frozen right into the air fryer, cook the crap out of them. They're perfect every time. It's amazing. Or you could thaw them out, toss them in a little baking soda, let them air dry in the fridge, and then air fry them. And they are incredibly crispy and even better. And if you want to, salt and vinegar dry rub, all right, I'm down with that. I'm a flat guy. I would prefer flats to drums, though I am an equal opportunist when it comes to wings. And then you're dipping into the sauce instead of making it wet. I think you're just trying to be a little safer on the napkin usage. A quick power ranking of coaches better than Mark Adams this season. 5-1. This is from Grande Pollo. Mike Boynton, Bill Self, Mateo Nomeo, Krista Gerlich, and my late grandmother. That's the texter there. I'm not saying that. That's the texter. Man, Krista Gerlich threw a bunch of punches there at the end against Texas. Texas held on, though. Texas 9-10-2, 10-3 on the season. In Big 12 play, the Lady Raiders could not hold on, or could not win there in Austin. Split with the Longhorns. They've got a pretty good schedule coming up, too, with what I feel are some opportunities to steal some wins, take some wins, earn some wins. All they have to do is be a little more consistent and a little more healthy. We'll see if either of those happen. All right, we'll take the break. When we come back, we will power rank the Big 12, talk through the rest of the Big 12, and some games remaining that are of note. It's the Rob Breaux Show, Talk 103.9 News, Money Sports.
.05.
Welcome back. It's the Rob Breaux Show, Talk 103.9 News, Money, Sports. I am the host. You are the co-host. This off the text line. Hey, Rob. Texas Tech basketball makes me sad. Can you cheer me up? I can tell you a joke, I guess, but all I'm looking forward to now is football and Joey McGuire. Yes, they put out the brand yesterday. And on the end of your text, you ask a question. I have heard that, yes. I have heard that, yes. Which probably doesn't cheer you up either. Power rankings, top 5 people you don't want at your Super Bowl party. Number 5, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Hey, I've been watching rewatching Suits, the show from USA. Back in the day, Meghan Markle's on there. Very good show. If you like lawyer shows, that's a good lawyer show. Number 4, Mark Adams. I don't know why you wouldn't want Mark Adams at your Super Bowl party. Bob Bowlesby. Definitely not. Al Gore. He could tell you how he invented the internet. And the cops. The cops, the number 1 people you don't want at your Super Bowl party. Something's gone wrong if the police are at your Super Bowl party in an official capacity. In an unofficial capacity, maybe you got a couple buddies that are cops or whatever, you can invite them over. But on-duty cops at the Super Bowl party probably means something's gone wrong. All right, let's get to some Big 12 basketball power rankings. And this is going to be... there's a lot of issues at the top of this list. Week to week, you're going to have teams punching up, punching down. So I'm gonna be a little... I'm going to do tiers at the top. I know people don't like that, but I'm going to do it. All right, standing alone right now is Texas, the Longhorns, even though they just lost in Lawrence. They are the number one team in the conference. They have the best record. They're a game in front of everyone. Then you have the state of Kansas. I lean Kansas first and then Kansas State at third. So Texas, Kansas, Kansas State, Kansas kind of surging here. Last week they were... I had them second last week too. All right, well, surging in my mind. And then Baylor, I think, will be next. Iowa State just lost to West Virginia. Baylor won their last game, so I'll put Baylor fourth, Iowa State, then TCU. Now, TCU, I think, still has a higher ceiling than Oklahoma State, but TCU is injured. And TCU not being full strength has really hurt them. Oklahoma State, on the other hand, it doesn't matter who's out there. They just play hard and play as a team and have the... They're well coached. That's the only way to say it. Mike Boynton, very good coach. They are well coached. Then you have West Virginia, Texas Tech at 9. Yes, 9, and then Oklahoma. Some people might say, well, Rob, how can you put the 1-10 team above the 2-9 team? Well, Oklahoma beat Texas Tech, but they're not good. Oklahoma is not good. Oklahoma is the worst team in the conference. But they beat Alabama. Yeah, they're the worst team in the conference. And if they sweep Texas Tech, I will rightfully put Texas Tech right back down at 10. But just watching all of these teams, Texas Tech is a better team than Oklahoma. Oklahoma just played really, really well the first time and won in overtime here in Lubbock. That's probably their best game of the year. Back to the text line, referencing a previous texter. Tell us what y'all are hearing. Well, the texter that texted in said I didn't have to say it on air, so I'm not going to. But I have heard it. But that's between me and the previous texter. We both heard it, and may or may not be true, but we've both heard it. There's a lot of that going around. A lot of rumor and talking around some of the issues in the Texas Tech basketball world, and I'm sure that gets annoying for people. That if we have information, we should just say it, but a lot of it just does have to do with the basketball team. And it does in the respect that it involves people involved in the program, but when all of that comes out eventually, and it's out mostly already, you could probably guess what I'm talking about, but I just don't feel the need to get all up in it here and now when it will all be about eventually anyways, and we can discuss it at that point. And if Mark Adams is gone after this season, which I'm still not convinced he is, then that will be a large part of it. Let's take an early break here. When we come back, we will continue on the text line. It's blowing up. We'll also talk about chicken wing flavors and power rank our favorite flavors of chicken wings on the other side. It's the Rob Breaux Show. Talk 103.9 News, Money Sports. Welcome back. It's the Rob Breaux Show. Talk 103.9 News, Money, Sports. This texter. Rob, was it so hard to believe that men's basketball went from a recent title game with Virginia and now to a 10 conference loss team in 2023? How did this happen? Multiple exclamation and question marks. Help me believe this. What can we do as fans? That's the thing, man. You can't do anything as fans. I mean, you can continue to support. You can leave notes of encouragement. You can donate to the Red Raider Club or the Matador Club. But you can't play for them. You can't coach for them. You can't score for the team. I mean, you can show up and be loud and give the home court advantage a boost, but there's really nothing you can do. That's why fans feel so hopeless sometimes. The Adams situation with Texas Tech basketball is going to make for one hell of a 30 for 30. Yes, it might. Certainly might. The top 5 rumors about Texas Tech basketball that people can't talk about. Number 5, Mark Adams allegedly is involved in a vicious Mexican cat juggling ring. Number 4, Elijah Fisher, not Canadian, actually Norwegian. Number 3, internal investigation revealed Adams actually got on the plane but was thrown off before takeoff. Number 2, Texas Tech's poor defense, heavily responsible for a leaky Texas-Mexico border. And the number 1, top 5 rumors that Texas Tech basketball people can't talk about. Kirby thought he was hiring Darvin Ham, but the secretary dialed the number wrong. Didn't realize it was Mark until too late. When that hiring went down, I really wanted Darvin Ham and for Mark Adams to continue to be Mark Adams. That did not happen. But I was all in on Mark Adams last year. And I'm not all the way out yet. I know the team is 1-10, and I know that we have issues with the boosters, and I know there's issues outside and whatever else, but it seems like a swing and a miss this year, and if he can get back to, the basics, if he can get back to the fundamentals, I think this team can improve. Not this year, obviously, but I think the program can get back to where it was. But does it get back to where it was the last 2 years, or does it get back to where it was when they played Virginia for a national championship? That's two different things. This text... I'm guessing this is best days of the year, maybe. Pitchers and catchers report, opening day, World Series victories, Leap Day, Summer Solstice, Christmas Day, and Thanksgiving. I used to be a big Super Bowl party guy, especially when I lived over on Dartmouth Street with a bunch of college dudes. That was a really fun time to have Super Bowl parties. We invited a bunch of people over. But nowadays, it's like I just want to watch the game. I might stay home, just watch it by myself. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I do know that I would prefer the Super Bowl on Sunday and not Saturday night. I don't need a day of recovery. I'll show up to work Monday morning. I don't need any time, space. It is what it is. If you need a day from watching a football game, that's on you. I can watch a football game and show up to work the next day. Let's see. The NBA trade deadline is wrapping up. Is wrapping up. Lots of stuff, lots of moving parts. Big fan of the NBA trade deadline. I love it. I wish every trade deadline was as active as the NBA trade deadline. I really, really loved when Major League Baseball used to have a good trade deadline. Now that they've expanded the playoffs like 6 times, it doesn't matter as much anymore because everyone's a contender. But it's seemingly in the NBA, even the contenders are selling off to try and get some things in. And you can so drastically change an NBA roster with 1 or 2 trades. It's almost ridiculous not to make a big trade or 2. Somebody got traded yesterday for 5 second-round picks. You could trade somebody in the NBA for 72 second-round picks, and they might hit on 1 or 2. Maybe 1 or 2. Kyrie Irving won in his debut for the Dallas Mavericks. They beat the Clippers last night. An opportunity for Kyrie Irving to get a couple of games, I think, without Luka Doncic, and now you don't have to rush Luka Doncic back. If you have another guy, and several other players have stepped up in Luka's absence as well, the Mavericks might have really gotten a good opportunity here to make a run late in the NBA playoffs. The Western Conference, though, is going to be really, really tough. The Suns also went and got Kevin Durant. CP3 seemingly washed, though Kevin Durant goes and joins Devin Booker and the boys there in Phoenix. And that was Talking NBA. We'll take another early break. When we come back, wings, and we'll talk some Super Bowl as well. It's the Rob Breaux Show. Talk 103.9 News Money Sports. You can text in 806-855-3712. It's Power Ranking Thursday. We'll see you after this on the Rob Breaux Show. Talk 103.9 News Money Sports. Welcome back. It's the Rob Breaux Show. Talk 103.9 News, Money Sports. Let's power rank some wing flavors. Lots of options with wings. I'm a traditionalist, maybe, when it comes to wings. I'm not crazy. There are times where I throw together a bunch of hot sauces I have at the house and maybe get a little crazy. But generally speaking, I am a classic, straight down the narrow wing guy. If I'm at my house, I will do equal parts buffalo sauce and Sweet Baby Ray's no sugar added, and do a buffalo barbecue sauce. That is the best flavor to me. If I'm at home, you toss them in the sauce, you put them back in the air fryer, you get a little tacky. Classic wing. You don't need much more than that. If it's not that, it is a Cajun rub, lemon pepper wet, or just plain. Whether that means it's just the classic medium or unsauced, just a naked wing. I'm not opposed. And then number 5, garlic parm. I don't do that often. I don't do it often. I will do it every once in a while, though. Top 2 wing flavors, though. Buffalo barbecue sauce or Cajun. Cajun rub, the dry. A naked wing is underrated, though. A naked wing, just a little salt and pepper. Put those bad boys in the air fryer. Cook them up nice. And then you can sauce however you want. You can have 3 or 4 sauces out there. Then you just dip. You're going back and forth. You can have multiple sauces, just ranch, whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do is what it is. Plenty of basketball coming up this weekend. Obviously, Texas Tech and Kansas State. We will look across the rest of the Big 12 tomorrow. Texas Tech, at this point, Texas Tech, all they can do, in my opinion, besides winning out, all they can do is start to play spoiler. And is it an envious place to be? No. It's not really the place you want to be in. You don't want to be the guy at the bottom of the standings just playing spoiler, where it matters more that you win because the other team gets screwed than you winning for any kind of self-glory. But that is where you are right now. You are the spoiler. And if you can spoil Texas from winning a Big 12 title, or you can spoil a standalone title from Kansas State or Kansas, and you get to play them a couple of more times, and you get to notch a couple of victories in your belt this year after only getting 1 to the first 11 games, so be it. I do not expect this team to quit. I do not expect this team to quit fighting. That Baylor game, the Iowa State game, kind of aberrations on this season where most every other game you've been really competitive. Both of those games on the road. The biggest loss you've had at home was West Virginia. That was weird. West Virginia, not a good team at all on the road, and they came in and made you look pretty foolish. But you get Kansas State this weekend, it should be a pretty good crowd. Baseball also gearing up. They'll start next weekend. Texas Tech baseball, that is. So you have some opportunity there as well. All right, let's hit the text line again. Rob, one Super Bowl party, we hear these fire trucks blaring away. Sirens are in our neighborhood, saying jokingly, hoping that's not for us. But it was. I was cooking steaks on a huge trailer portable grill in the front yard. Lots of wood smoke must have had someone mistakenly call in a fire. The fireman left with some appetizers. Well, at least you get to help the wonderful first responders out there. That'd be a good call to make. It's just wood smoke. Were you cooking the steaks already, or were you just preparing the grill and it was a bunch of wood smoke coming off? If you are on Twitter, some changes happening there inside the Big 12. The UCF fan base, the Central Florida fan base, has not made any friends coming in. There's a lot of Twitter polls for whatever reason the last 2 weeks. I don't know why. That's an off-season thing, people. I like Twitter polls. I do. I'm a Pulse of the People guy. Those are just one-offs. Why are we doing Twitter poll tournaments in the heat of a Big 12 season? What are we doing? Twitter poll tournaments are for off-season activities. Like, what? I don't know. I don't understand. Now, you got massive engagement from it, so I guess that's cool, but I don't know why we're doing Twitter poll tournaments here in the we're focused. We're focused on Oklahoma State last night. Be focused on Kansas State this weekend, then we'll be focused on Texas. And you're also focused on trying not to get swept anymore. Baylor has already swept you. Kansas State with the opportunity to sweep you. TCU with the opportunity to sweep you. Texas with the opportunity to sweep you. You've lost a lot in this opening half, so it's going to be tough to avoid, but you want to avoid it as much as possible. especially heading into this new landscape where you don't know who exactly you're going to play next year in basketball or how the conference slate's going to be set up with 14 teams. We will get into the Super Bowl game tomorrow more and more. I will say this. I still believe the Kansas City Chiefs will win this game. I said this on the first day that we figured it out on Monday, 2 weeks ago, last week, whatever it was, however you want to say it. That I think Kansas City is the better team. They're more battle-tested. They are tougher. They are the tougher team. And Philadelphia has not really had to handle anyone of note. Minnesota turned out to be huge frauds. Even the Lions, who lost a lot early, were right there with them as they went along. You had the Commanders, the Giants, the Cowboys. You beat the Cowboys with Cooper Rush throwing you 2 interceptions. Then you lost to Dak, and Dak didn't beat very many people down the stretch. I know it was Gardner Minshew, but that is what it is. And if you just look at the types of games the Kansas City Chiefs have played, they are built well to withstand what the Philadelphia Eagles do. Sorry, I was trying to sneeze. It's hard to sneeze with just one person in here. Nobody can fill in for you while you're sneezing over here. But if you are just looking at what Kansas City does on defense, defensively, they're going to get in press coverage. They're going to bang these wide receivers at the line of scrimmage. A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are going to be tested at the line of scrimmage, which makes it tougher to get the run game going. And if they don't give any deep shots up, if they can contain Jalen Hurts, I really think that the Kansas City Chiefs can run away with this one. Now, you have to be consistent on offense. You have to take care of the ball, which easier said than done in some respects, especially with Patrick Mahomes, who tries to do too much sometimes. But he has not been a turnover machine this year. And as good as the Eagles are defensively, I don't know that they're a great matchup for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs can dink you and dunk you and go over the top just as easily, one or the other. We'll look at some props tomorrow as we get closer and closer to the Super Bowl. Obviously, props are some of my favorite things in the Super Bowl world, especially betting-wise. You always want to try to load up on those just for fun. Well, you also have like the squares and stuff you do. All right, yes, the wood fire setup early was putting out lots of smoke. Crazy day. Well, at least it all turned out well. The Kansas City Chiefs will probably close as the underdog in this Super Bowl. The Eagles still favored. I do not get that. I do not understand. And even if they don't, even if it does switch back a little bit down the line, let's see what it is currently. La da da da. Dun, 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 dun. Plus 1.5. They opened up -2. It is plus 1.5 currently. 50.5 on the total. I'll take Kansas City in the over, especially at plus 1.5. Plus 105 money line. That just seems really, really easy. It does to me. Maybe that means the Eagles by 10. I don't know. Fade me at your will. All right, we will take the break, the final break today. Come back tomorrow, 11 a.m. on the Raiderland. I've been Rob Bro. I'll be Rob Bro. We'll see you then.
The views and opinions expressed by the participants on this Talk 1340 program are not necessarily the views of Talk 1340, its advertisers, staff, management, or Town Square Media.